Now, I know what you're thinking. Why Hulkbuster? Hulkbuster is currently a 7-star champion, and he's not really like, the most popular character out there, right? But Hulkbuster this meta is going to be very, very good because of his power control. Because with this crush tactic, the special attacks of the opponents are pretty much like guaranteed one-shots to you. So yeah, you want power control for sure, and Hulkbuster I feel like is one of the best, maybe even like the strongest power controller with like actual damage output. So yeah, Hulkbuster, he's a crazy good champion. His power control is just off the charts, and for this meta you pretty much need that to play it as safe as possible, because even without it you can just use like the taunt and the steadfast, right? But sometimes you can't get to it like ASAP, so it can be pretty dang dangerous. But with Hulkbuster here, there is no worries whatsoever. So here we have Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is a dangerous defender because one, his health pool is really high, which means there are more opportunities for some pretty lethal mistakes. But additionally, his special attacks with this meta is just, it is a dangerous combination for sure. So you want to make sure that he doesn't throw a single special attack ever, or like, try to get the steadfast up. But with Hulkbuster here, we can just play the power control game. And Hulkbuster, when it comes to power control, not many champions do it better for sure. Like, he is just one of the best at it. However, right there is problem number one with Hulkbuster. His heavy attack range isn't really all that, to say the least. Sometimes it does catch me off guard and it can just really mess you up sometimes, but for the most part, with proper play, you can get around it pretty easily. But for me, yeah, I struggle a bit sometimes for sure, but we're still doing fine. We still have pretty good control of this fight. So here we can just drop the SP2 and this should do it, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Hulkbuster did pretty dang good there for sure. But here's the real test. We have this rank 2 7-star Onslaught boss. Now Onslaught with this tactic is so dangerous because yeah, his special attacks are just so dang lethal, right? But Hulkbuster here, we have the power control to our advantage. So yeah, this fight is not going to be a short one for sure because Onslaught has a ton of health and Hulkbuster has some pretty great damage output, right? But he also has a pretty risky playstyle with the, heavy attack spam in the corner because of stand your ground. So you can't rely on that for sure. So we got to play it very safe here, and not a good start already with the hits taken, but it's fine. We can just go back in and try to regroup here because yeah, this is a long fight. So I can't show signs of weakness this early into the boss matchup. But here we go back in, we drop a special 2, and yeah, now it's looking pretty good for us. We go back in, get the intercept, which is perfect. And yeah, things are looking pretty dang good now. We get the intercept again. Here he drops, I don't even know, he intercepts me actually. Then he drops the SP1, which is very annoying, but we get the full deck somehow. I can't believe I did that just on the spot. A quick confession here, I didn't practice the decks once because I'm like, I'm gonna use Hulkbuster, who is the king of power control. That should never have to happen, right? But there you go, it does have to happen because I took a hit, and there I did it again. I am playing pretty dang poorly here for sure, but Hulkbuster, he is an absolute tank, which means that we can survive a couple of hits for sure. And yeah, I just got to get back into the groove, but I do the opposite and I get hit yet again. So I am just getting destroyed right now, but hey, we're still doing this fight pretty well. He's down to 24%, and here is my safety net in this fight. So when Hulkbuster drops to 15% health, he gets this regen, and this regen is pretty dang massive. So that's why the 6-star is kind of better than the 7-star for sure sometimes, but it's a bit 50-50 like when it comes to overall value. But Hulkbuster still does very good as a 6-star champion, and right here the fight is now over essentially. He does a full combo, which is kind of annoying, but it's whatever. There he goes, unblockable, and he just refuses to go down. But here he finally does, and that is a rank 2 Onslaught boss done with Hulkbuster. Now let's just take it slow now because those were very high pressure fights, and that, you know what, it's just too much for me. So let's just take it slow and let's just showcase him in these, more relaxing fights. So first up, a quick damage test here. Hulkbuster, when it comes to damage output, it's just really good at it. And in these like non-Alliance War Battleground matchups where standard ground isn't a thing, he does a ton of damage output. Like, check this out right here. We drop the SP2, go back in, drop some heavy attacks, and yeah, 20,000, and now they're going to stack up a ton, 29,000, and yeah, this is just so satisfying, really. We go back in, 20,000 mediums there, then we bait a heavy attack, go back in, drop the SP2, and then yeah, it's pretty much game over now. Look at the damage output here, 25,000, and that's just the beginning of it, man. 34,000 there, drop the SP1, no crit, but it's fine, and yeah, this matchup is now over. So Hulkbuster, when he gets going, is such a powerhouse of a damage dealer. He is just so satisfying. Here we have this Act 8 Chapter 3 path, and Hulkbuster for questing is honestly one of the best because I feel like they just design everything around him because he just works for any tech path there is. It is so awesome. He has the armor up, he has the power drain, he has the shocks, and these tropes are just so common for these paths. So yeah, he is perfect for them essentially. And now Sauron has this like glowing pink stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, check out this damage output now. We go back in, drop the SP2, and now it's showtime. So check out this damage output. Pretty good stuff already, 53,000 right there. And yeah, this stuff is just crazy. Then we drop a relic, go back in, and this damage output is even crazier because it is a nice 149,000 crit right there to end the fight. And yeah, that's just Hulkbuster doing Hulkbuster things, man. Now we have the Cyclops matchup, and Cyclops is no big deal, and this node is like perfect for Hulkbuster. However, there is one drawback. If they drop a special attack, you can't really get his damage output going because they go debuff immune, but with Hulkbuster here, they don't have to throw a special attack once in the fight, and they won't because Hulkbuster is just that good at power control. So yeah, when it comes to power control, Hulkbuster is the best tech power controller in the game in my opinion. That might be a bit of a hot take, but you know what? I don't care. I feel like it is just true at this point because check this out, man. The power control is just off the charts. It is so strong, and the damage output too is just crazy as well. So yeah, that fight was just an absolute joke. But now we have a more serious matchup. We have this Eternity of Pain Dormammu fight, and for this matchup, Hulkbuster is also one of the best for it because with the power control, Dormammu's just completely shut down for the whole entire fight. So yeah, it is just super satisfying, and this becomes an absolute joke of a fight. So yeah, Hulkbuster does even the hardest content really well. So here I dropped the SP2, and yeah, now it's time to just start doing Hulkbuster things. And the damage output is pretty nice here for sure, like some 22,000 heavy attacks, but that's just the beginning of it for sure. We go back in, 18,000 mediums, bail out the heavy attack here, go back in again, then drop another SP2, and then another SP2, and now we're just in the Hulkbuster loop, and once you're in it, you just can't get out of it pretty much. So this fight is honestly over now because yeah, we can't stop ourselves, man. We're just doing way too good here. We drop the relic, go back in, drop a heavy attack, drop an SP1, do a combo, and now the fight is over. So that was about, what, 51 seconds, which is just very good, right? But now we have this Gauntlet Vision, and I feel like Gauntlet Vision is the best test for a power control character because with Gauntlet Vision here, he has Surging Vengeance, which means that he'll drop the SP1, he'll drop the SP2, and then once that happens, he is guaranteed to drop the SP3, and that SP3 is a one-shot, guaranteed. So yeah, it is pretty dang crazy to deal with, but Hulkbuster here can just power control him all the way through. And yeah, 31,000 right there. Drop a heavy attack, power lock him as well so the synthesis doesn't work, and this fight is off to a perfect start already. Then we just play it chill here, just spay out the heavy attack, go back in, then we drop the SP2, no we don't, we just play it more conservative. Then we drop the SP2, and now it's time to get going yet again. He's power locked once more, so we go back in, drop the heavy attack, and now we're just in a great spot. And yeah, this fight is just so crazy because we're just controlling it completely. So here we drop a combo into the SP2 yet again, and this should do it finally. So that was a pretty fast matchup. 32,000 crit there as well. And yeah, we do the heavy attack spam, then we drop a relic afterwards, and this does close out the fight. So Yeah, Hulkbuster doing that in about 1 minute and 7 seconds is just so crazy good. And yeah, this champion is just super fun overall as well. He has great utility, some of the best power control in the game, and yeah, he is just an absolute monster when it comes to damage output too. So Hulkbuster is pretty much like the perfect champion, I feel like. Just good in every single piece of content, and it's just such a powerhouse overall. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Hulkbuster, and yeah, that's about it for me.